Welcome to Unique Motor Garage. My name is Philip Tarrant and I'm going to be running you through this 1996 Jeep Cherokee Limited. It has travelled just 69,000 kilometres since it was new and is in absolutely immaculate condition. It is sold. It sold very quickly. In fact, it sold before we could even advertise it publicly. And it's going to someone who's going to use it as a Sunday vehicle, which is certainly very nice to hear, because I think this is probably one of the last Jeep XJ Limiteds with under 100,000 kilometres. When you consider this particular car is 26 years old, and around 2005, 2010, they became very cheap and were often, purchased by backpackers and things, people who wanted an inexpensive four-wheel drive, and a lot of them had a pretty hard life, not to mention the kilometres. You can still find examples like this today with about 250,000 kilometres, and they're still going to be asking $10,000. They do have a low-range transfer case. So you've got two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive full-time, and four-wheel drive part-time. It all works perfectly. They were a big hit in the mid-90s. And I think, realistically, they're pretty affordable. There weren't many luxury four-wheel drives at the time. If you wanted a luxury four-wheel drive, there was basically a Range Rover, and that's about it. Toyota did start to get their act together with the Sahara, and they started putting in leather seats, electric seats, and all that sort of thing. But if you really wanted something luxurious, you'd have to get a Range Rover. And when these became available for around $50,000, considering that a Land Cruiser was about $15,000 to $20,000 more expensive, just for the GXL model, which had cloth trim, steel wheels, and was really very, very basic. And for a car which was released in the US in 1985, it looks pretty good. I mean, it certainly was ahead of its time. And I was always surprised that a car like this could be released in Australia in 1995, when essentially the model was 10 or 11 years old, and do so well, but it did. Look at that back seat, really doesn't look like it's been sat in. So the person who had the car before us was in his 90s, and that's basically why the kilometres are so low. It hasn't been driven much in the last 10 years. All the decals are in perfect condition. I love the colour. Navy blue and green is great, but white always looks fresh, clean. The white walls suit it very nicely as well. It's got the 4-litre straight six, which is also a bulletproof motor. It's leaf sprung at the back. I think it's even got drum brakes on the back. Yep. And I can't remember when I was growing up, and we used to see one, and my father used to say, oh, it's got the suspension of a horse and cart, the old 4-litre straight six motor and the leaf sprung suspension. They don't drive very well, but I must say, when I drove this, I haven't driven one for a few years, it was perfectly smooth, effortless power. Fantastic at about 100 kilometres an hour on the freeway. Cruise control and everything worked well, and I absolutely loved it. Not to mention that I think that the seats are some of the most comfortable seats in the industry. Absolutely beautiful. I could certainly see myself going for a nice long trip in this. but it's something we were certainly very impressed with. As I said, it didn't last long. We weren't even able to advertise it publicly. We just had it on our website and it sold within a couple of days. And it's being delivered this morning, but I just wanted to take this quick video because, as I said, I think it's going to be a very long time, not just before we see another XJ, but before we see one like this. So thank you so much for watching. If you do have any specific questions or queries, please don't hesitate to contact us. We are Unique Motor Garage. We're at www.uniquemotorgarage.com.au.